Coach, I know you said going into the last couple of games that limiting the mistakes and miscues were a big part of the game plan, and there were a lot tonight. What was going on?
Well, there's a lot of them. Penalties were a major issue. 4 15-yarders. We had a unsportsmanlike right before half. Cost us big. We took a sack, which was bad. We got an unsportsmanlike penalty. Terrible. We had 2 PIs on one drive. 30 yards of field position. We had a face mask on defense. Those are the 15-yard varieties. Receivers had a legal substitution. Really bad. Had a false start. We had a false start by a young man on a play that was not called. Took a delay. Had 3 holding penalties. It's bad.
Is that a fixable problem?
Well, sure. You got to focus, and takes physical toughness, mental toughness, emotional toughness. Of course it is.
Coach from Riker, California. In the last 4 years, the team has been 5-20 in one-score games. What has to change for that to improve going onwards?
That's a very good question. It's a great question. Well, we could be here for a while, and we can go through this game. And how do you win a one-score game today? Cut the penalties in half. Start there. Or just take care of the ones that take no talent. Sometimes in a play, there might be a holding call. Maybe it's a tough matchup. You don't want that, but it can happen. The guy reaching to make a tackle, you don't want a face mask, you want to get your hands low, but that happens in the heat of battle sometimes. The PIs were probably unnecessary. So let's say you have those. Well, lining up right, not jumping off sides, not getting a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, well, those take no talent at all. So let's start with those. Let's go to 4th and 1. Everybody's doing their job, 10 out of 11 guys, and one guy makes a kind of a selfish decision and gets out of his gap. I mean, I think we have a great chance to stop them, and we're going to get the ball in their territory, and the guy gets out of his gap, and it goes for 72 yards for a touchdown. So you could argue that those 2 plays right there, right before the half, that play, there's 10 points. And then there's, I don't know, 10 other plays on offense that we can make that we didn't make. Obviously the field goal. So you have to find a way to make those plays. You can't, the self-inflicted wounds. I don't know, that maybe there's some teams that are good enough to have some self-inflicted wounds. I don't know if you ever go through a game perfectly. I've never been a part of that. But we're not in a position, we don't have the margin to go play bad football from time to time and expect to win against the top 25 team. Can't expect that. So I don't feel sorry for us. I don't feel sorry for our players. I don't feel sorry for anybody. Those are the things we have to fix. Do your job, and it takes physical toughness, emotional toughness. You got to do it all day long, and then you can win those one-score games. So yeah, 5-20. How about that stat? How frustrating is that? And also, if we do the little things right more often, you have a chance to win those. So yeah, that's a very frustrating statistic, and it's something we obviously talk about. They know it, and we will not allow bad football. We have to eliminate the mistakes that take no talent. Have to.
Question over here to the right.
Hi, Coach. Thomas from the League Winners. It seemed like you guys on offense, the game plan was to attack them laterally and make plays in space. Could you just talk about some of the weaknesses you were trying to exploit on offense?
Our offense versus their defense.
Yes,
Yeah, they play a lot of heavy boxes, 4-3 stack quarters. Corners are in a lot of man. Safety's playing in the slot. 3 linebacker body types. We were trying to get some plays on the perimeter. And you go into the game, you look at matchups. Like, where do we think we can win a one-on-one? Where do we think schematically we can get something going? We thought we were really trying to get them, also attack them down the field. We never got the ball off, either protection issues or we held it too long. And so, yeah, to have the ball for almost, 38, 39 minutes and not be more efficient, effective on offense is disappointing. And, you know, you're always going to go back and look at what we could have done better schematically, like where were we off? You know, what would we change schematically? You know, and so we'll do that as a coaching staff. We have to continue to do the best job we can to put our players in position against the teams we're playing. And obviously the entire group, players and coaches, we all failed today.
Any other questions in the room?
Coach, what was the kind of mentality on the 2-point conversion, the one in the beginning and one in the end? Like, what was the approach, really, with the one in the beginning?
Get ahead. Tight game. Thought it was two pretty evenly matched teams. We felt like we had a good opportunity for a chaos play. I felt like it was there. We didn't convert it. So then, if you don't get it, you score another touchdown, you have another chance. I mean, statistically, you're going to get 1 out of 2. And we didn't get the second one. And we still had a chance. I mean, so if you go up and you get the 8, you get the 2-point conversion, then you put them in a position. They have to go for 2, or they make a decision, do they chase the point all day? So it was a kind of a game plan thing. We thought, based on the matchup, it'd be a tight ball game, and can we get an extra point that either they have to chase or force them to go for 2 throughout the day, and it didn't work. So obviously after it's over, you know, bad call. I would also say, like, we had a good chance to convert it, we just didn't do it. So it was unfortunate, and still at the end of the game, field goal wins. You know, if we're, the difference would be we're 17-17 as opposed to 15-17. But we had a chance to win it, we didn't do it. So I'm open to all the critiques, I understand it, but there was thought behind it.
All right, we'll go to Zoom. Thomas Dunn, right for California.
Justin, towards the end of the game, the offense moving the ball in the 4-minute situation, and then it seemed like the Rays were pulled back to set up the field goal. Can you walk us through the decision to set up the field goal and ultimately whether you have confidence in the kicking unit going forward?
We were trying to get first downs. We were calling first down plays. You're also considering the clock, but we thought long and hard about it. Yeah, we were playing to get first downs. We ran you know, a couple QB runs that we thought had a good chance, and again, we just, you know, we didn't have a great. We ran the ball 40 times for 60 yards today. It's tough. We obviously didn't want to put ourselves in a position to go backwards either. So pass game was going to be quick game. They had a lot of press corners. There was a lot of discussion on that, and you know, I wouldn't necessarily say it was the reins pulling back. It was, okay, what's the best chance here to push the ball forward, get a first down, not put us in a third and long. We were struggling on 3rd and longs.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions. We'll go to Jeff Rotto, Cal Bears on SI.
Justin, a couple things. One, real quick, can you tell us when and why the decision was made that Jaden would not play? And secondly,
I don't make. Go ahead.
Yeah, and secondly, can you just talk about Fernando's game? He did a lot of good things, but took a beating, took 6 sacks, and how many of those does he need to get rid of the ball quicker, and how many of them were just nothing he could do?
I don't have a say in whether Jaden plays or not. The medical staff and the player communicate, and then the medical staff tells me if the player is available to play or not. We don't have oversight over that. So Jaden was
understood. Wondering when that decision was made.
we were trying throughout the week, and as the week went on, it looked less and less likely, to be honest. So it was not available to play. There's a few guys that weren't. We have to have the next man up. And your second question, we threw it 37 times. We were really trying to take advantage of some of the free release on the slot safeties. Didn't quite get the ball down the field. Threw some good passes. I thought Jack showed up some. You know, he had eight catches. We can't get sacked so much, and that's everything. I mean, everybody's involved in that. We had a couple times. I mean, 4-man rush. We're getting sacked with 5- and 6-man, 7-man protection. We got to throw the ball on time. We have to protect the quarterback up front. It's a problem, obviously.
But that's on everybody, you're saying?
Yeah, it's on the entire program. And obviously the coaches, we have to help the players that we have to perform the best of their ability. whether that's blocking up front, whether we need to add more guys into the protection, which that's an obvious answer. You also, at that point, have less people stressing the coverage. And in the quarterback, there are times we got to make really good decisions, and everybody can do a better job there. So we're going to have to continue to work with the players that are playing and get those guys improved, because it's a problem. We all know it.
Last question, Phil Luongo from the Daily Cal.
Hi, Coach. How do you feel about your defense in this game, especially with holding Pitt on offense that averaged 45-plus points per game to scoreless in the second half? What do you have to say about your defense?
Appreciate their resilience. Didn't play very good football in the first half, obviously, and played much better football in the second half. I thought we were, if we were able to take the lead, that I felt good about the defense stopping them. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But in a game like this, it's the 4th and 1. We got to win the game on defense today. The way to win the game on defense today is everybody be sound on that 4th and 1. You hold them. You hold them to one touchdown. I thought they earned one in that early drive, and then obviously they made the play on the 4th and 1. It was a 70-yard play. They hit a 58-yard field goal. But the way we could have won it was eliminating the penalties, the 15-yard variety penalties, and then making the play on 4th and 1. Everybody doing their job. 11 out of 11, not 10 out of 11. And we have a good shot. I'm not saying we would, but I thought we had a good shot to stop them, but certainly wouldn't have gone for 70-plus yards. That's what I think of the defense. I appreciate their effort and resilience in the second half. Unfortunately, we gave one too many plays and penalties in the first half against the, I don't know what they were, I can't remember exactly what they were averaging, but they were averaging a lot.
All right, that'll wrap us up here. We'll be right back with